you were coming to the Stanley Center for Peace and Security today, if you walked out of our current entryway and turned right, you would be able to see the building right there, cross one street, and you would be in our brand new building. It's super exciting to think that by the end of 2022, we'll be moving into one of the most environmentally sustainable buildings in the world. The Stanley Center is a place where smart people come together to tackle some of the biggest threats to peace and security in the world. Climate change, the threat of nuclear weapons, the threat of mass atrocities and genocide. These are all things that affect everyone on the planet, and there's no one organization, no one country that can fix these things. It's going to take cooperation. It's going to take collaboration. The fact that we're located in the middle of the country rather than on one of the coasts or in some other world capital is a defining feature of who we are. And we felt that it was time for us to move into some new space that would really facilitate the way we want to work today, and space that would reinforce the kind of culture that we're trying to build at the Stanley Center. We knew we would need help in this project. We needed an architect who could really understand our vision and sort of turn it into this physical manifestation of a building. When we first met with Newman Monson, we really made a connection with them because they started the meeting by talking about their values. And so they came to us with some options, and I hadn't heard of the Living Building Challenge before this, but once they started talking about it, it became apparent that this was really the thing that aligned most closely with our values.
The Living Building Challenge is one of the most rigorous and comprehensive programs that exists today for sustainable design and construction. It's all about regenerative design, which essentially means it wants to give more than it really takes from this world.
There are a lot of other sustainable certifications or processes that you can go through. What appealed to us about the Living Building Challenge was the holistic aspect of it. It goes through a very thorough vetting process.
When I first heard about the Living Building, I was skeptical about it. It is an extremely ambitious project, and ambitious for a lot of reasons. It's new, it is unique. There are some metrics that are really hard to meet.
There are 7 basic requirements to the project, and those are water, energy, place, beauty, health and happiness, equity, and materials that all have to be met in order for the building to achieve the certification at the end. This is the first project like this in Iowa. There's actually only 29 in the world, and so everything about this project is going to be different. Every single phase of it's going to be different.
I think we looked at 50, 60 different potential sites in the area. In the end, we came down to a couple of locations in downtown Muscatine. One of them used to be the Muscatine Library. This building had sat abandoned for sale, for a couple of years. We looked at our values and said, yeah, it'd be nice to build a brand new building, but we could really do a lot more for the community if we renovated this building that would probably continue to sit abandoned for many more years. And also, we knew that the most environmentally sound building is the one you don't have to build. So doing a renovation would actually help us meet many of our environmental goals as well. We are 2 years into this project, really looking forward to that first, bit of construction equipment showing up. And there really is something sort of magical about taking all of these dreams and aspirations and values and turning them into something real.
When I was first starting to hear some of the language that we were using to talk about the beginning ceremony for this building, the phrase ground healing came up, which I think was the first time that I really thought very critically about the phrase ground breaking. Instead of breaking, we're pulling together, and we are trying to create new out of old and do good instead of harm.
One of the things that became clear to us was that we would be pathfinders here, that we would be setting out to do something that not many people had done before. And while that would certainly have challenges, it would also create a path for others to follow.
Having this be the first LBC building in Iowa is instrumental. I think it can be really impactful.
There's definitely easier, less expensive routes to go, but someone has to be the first adopter. Someone has to be willing to pave the way.
Every cause needs a champion, and we're being a trailblazer.
I don't think I had any idea going into it exactly how big of a project this is, but if we can do this in our small town, in the middle of the country, then I really think anyone could do it.